A lone alert flashed on my screen. It was a message from my father advising me to skip the holiday gathering since my siblings' relatives were prominent figures, and my attendance might create discomfort. I responded with a single term. Fine. I understood precisely how to handle the situation. I faded away exactly as they desired, didn't I? Until those distinguished visitors stepped into a meeting space my dad had no knowledge of. In mere moments, the whole balance of influence reversed completely. My name is Alara Voss, and at 10 a.m. on a weekday, as I weighed the outcome of a $20 million venture into the southwestern U.S. sector, my father chose to reinforce my position in the hierarchy. The device hummed against the sleek oak surface of the executive desk. It was a brief vibration, the sort that often indicates junk mail or a storm warning. Typically, I wouldn't glance at it. I maintain a firm policy on devices amid critical planning sessions. As the head of an enterprise like Pivot Nexus AI, your focus is the priciest resource present, and diverting it to a display signals vulnerability. Yet, we were pausing for the chief analyst to load the newest forecast simulations for the Phoenix Distribution Center. Thus, I permitted my gaze to drop briefly. The display illuminated with a note from Father. Alara, stay away from the holidays this season. Celine's relatives are arriving. The Hargroves are influential folks. We aim to avoid any unease. We'll arrange a quiet get-together with you in the new year. I gazed at the words. The impact didn't strike right away. It resembled slicing your skin on an ultra-sharp edge where the wound appears before the pain registers. Influential. That term lingered. It wasn't due to me being rude or disruptive or having a pattern of spoiling occasions. I was excluded simply because I fell short of expectations. In the polished showcase of the Voss household, my sister Celine was the centerpiece, and I was the overlooked blemish they hadn't bothered to conceal. To my father, I was the offspring who dealt with tech, the one in sharp suits, and a practical vehicle from half a decade ago, viewing automobiles as tools instead of symbols. I was the child who disrupted harmony just by being among those focused on exclusive clubs and vacation estates. My top developer, a talented expert named Nadia, made a subtle sound to regain attention. I lifted my view. The group awaited my input. A handful of the brightest talents in innovation stared at me, anticipating approval to implement software that would transform cargo transport over multiple regions. They viewed Alara Voss as the creator who had grown Pivot Nexus from a garage endeavor into a formidable force in distribution optimization. My father perceived a clumsy tech assistant who would disgrace him before the prominent. I grasped the device. I avoided composing an essay. I refrained from questioning motives. I didn't plead. I entered 3 characters. Fine. I dispatched it. Then I set the gadget screen down on the surface. The noise of the casing meeting the timber resonated faintly in the hushed space. The Phoenix simulation, I stated, my tone firm. Absent the flutter stirring within my core. Display the delay figures. If we can't ensure forecast precision above 95%, we're holding off on rollout in the fall, Nadia affirmed, appearing eased that the leader was engaged again. We're hitting 97%, Alara. The updated system adapts to climate shifts quicker than projected. Excellent, I responded. Secure it. Advance with purchasing the regional servers. We devoted the following 60 minutes to breaking down barriers. That's my expertise. I resolve issues. I transform disorganized, turbulent, wasteful setups into streamlined ones. I make them function. It's amusing, truly, that the sole framework I've failed to refine is my kin. As the session concluded, I had neatly tucked away the notification. It became a compartment buried far in the cognitive storage where I housed other dismissals. The overlooked anniversaries, the ceremony they departed prematurely, the interruptions during meals. I exited the meeting area and entered the primary hallway of Pivot Nexus headquarters. I cherished this environment. It was simple, flooded with daylight through transparent panels offering views of the urban horizon. It carried sense of brew and drive. This was my domain. No one concerned themselves with my background or casual chatter. They valued my foresight. Alara, someone summoned. I pivoted to spot Marcus, my operations director. Marcus possessed an unusual knack for being boldly approachable and remarkably skilled simultaneously. He approached swiftly, a device under his elbow, his expression tense, indicating an issue had arisen. "Join me," he instructed. I matched his pace. "Did the data transfer collapse?" "No," Marcus replied. "Systems are stable. It's the client leads. We received contact from the Hargrove Alliance." I halted abruptly. My footwear tapped the solid floor as I stopped. The title lingered between us like a poised blade. "The Hargrove Alliance," I echoed, maintaining composure. "Yes," Marcus confirmed, interacting with his screen. "The corporation spanning commerce, transport, production. They're substantial, Alara. They've been hemorrhaging funds in their distribution arm for 2 years. They learned of our solution for that major carrier in the Gulf. They're requesting a discussion." I sensed a chill, yet I held my demeanor steady. "When?" "Next week start," Marcus noted. "They're dispatching a complete team to base. Their leader is attending directly. And the highlight, they requested specifically to encounter the enigmatic originator of the tech. Evidently, our low-key approach has piqued their interest." I averted my gaze, feigning interest in the vehicles below through the glass. My thoughts accelerated, linking elements swifter than our programs. The Hargrove Alliance, that was Barrett's kin, Barrett Hargrove, my sibling's spouse, wed to Celine 3 years prior in an event pricier than my initial investment round. The individual so prominent that my mere showing at a festive meal would offend his standards. "Who comprises the team?" I inquired, still facing away from Marcus. "The head, naturally," Marcus enumerated, "their advisor, operations executive, and Barrett Hargrove." I shut my eyes momentarily. "Naturally, Barrett." "Barrett Hargrove," Marcus proceeded, unaware of the revelation. "He's the son-in-law of the board chair, I recall. He oversees their operational streamlining. He's driving this encounter. He believes he uncovered us." I nearly chuckled. It would have been a harsh, uneven noise. Barrett Hargrove assumed he had unearthed Pivot Nexus. Barrett, who had positioned himself several seats distant at his nuptials. Barrett, who had offered a courteous nod upon presentation, only to shift immediately to engage someone more significant. I questioned if he recalled my surname. To him, I was merely Celine's relative, an indistinct form in the backdrop of his flawless existence. At the ceremony, my placement was so remote, I might as well have been in the service area. I wasn't in the wedding group. I wasn't invited to address the guests. I was simply an attendee sharing genetics with the bride. And now he was entering my territory. "Alara?" Marcus queried. "You've gone silent. Is there an issue?" "I recognize we typically assign the revenue lead to first contacts, but for a pact this magnitude, potentially 50 million across 3 years, you must be present." I faced Marcus again. The astonishment had dissipated, supplanted by a sharp, clear resolve. "I'll be there," I affirmed. Marcus concurred. "Fine. Need the overview on the Hargrove leaders? I can prepare the profile on your workstation shortly." "No," I replied. "I know them." Marcus arched a brow. "You do?" "Enough," I stated. "Marcus, heed this closely. Upon their arrival next week, no extravagance, no special treatment. Handle them as standard partners." And on the presentation, I hesitated. This was the instant I could disclose to Marcus. I could reveal that Barrett Hargrove was my kin by marriage, that my relatives viewed them as national icons, and that I'd been excluded from our family celebration to prevent upsetting them. I could admit this discussion would be a private ordeal, but I recalled the note. Avoid discomfort. My father dreaded I'd shame him. He feared I'd lack the refinement to navigate the Hargroves. On the presentation, I said, a slight, keen grin forming, "Don't provide my profile in advance. No image. If inquired, state the head prefers the innovation to introduce itself." Marcus appeared puzzled. "You aim to surprise them?" "I desire an unbiased entry. I fabricated seamlessly. Let them witness the advancement prior to the individual. If they learn I'm a 33-year-old female, they could enter with biases. Allow them to enter and observe the results." Marcus relented. "It's unconventional. But you're in charge. I'll arrange it. Monday at 9. Make it 9, I directed. Let's test their timeliness. 9, Sassar, Marcus recorded. I'll instruct the group to ready the prototype showcase. We require the predictive distribution emulator operating perfectly. No glitches. Ilara, if this falters, we forfeit the largest opportunity available. It won't falter, I declared. Ensure the team understands. This is pure commerce. I demand the meeting space pristine. I want the information tailored to their sector challenges. I want to demonstrate precisely how much revenue they're forfeiting every moment without our platform. Marcus assented and dashed toward the development section, his device already at his ear. I remained solitary in the passage. I retrieved my device once more. I examined the notification anew. The Hargroves are influential. I surveyed my workspace. I regarded the honors displayed, the innovation documents, the display tracking instantaneous server operations handling countless data elements per instant. My father believed influential signified donning the correct attire and mastering utensil etiquette for appetizers. He thought influential was an exclusive membership and a surname in social columns. He failed to grasp that society had evolved. Genuine influence wasn't tied to ancestry. It was about creation. It was about authority. Authentic, concrete authority. The authority to rescue a multi-billion entity from downfall. The authority to anticipate market trends. I was poised to grasp the destiny of the Hargrove Alliance's financial period in my grasp, and they were unaware of my existence. I entered a reminder in my schedule for the upcoming week. Hargrove discussion. I no longer felt sorrow. The ache of exclusion had been sealed by the thrill of the prospect. My father desired my absence. All right. I'd become invisible. I'd be a specter. And on the next morning, when Barrett Hargrove entered those transparent entrances, he wouldn't encounter the uneasy relative he dismissed at the nuptials. He'd meet the sole individual capable of resolving his dilemma. I returned the device to my compartment. Fine, father, I murmured to the vacant hall. You exclude me from the holidays because I'm not influential enough. That's acceptable. I resumed striding toward my workspace, my steps extended and assured. Let's converge where influence is truly determined. To comprehend why a parent would bar his offspring from a holiday event via notification, you must grasp the unique environment of the Voss kin. In our residence, presentation wasn't merely important. It was doctrine. We didn't simply eat, we staged shows. We didn't attend services. We crafted an illusion of devotion for observers. My sister Celine was the supreme figure in this doctrine from our youth. Celine mastered the ideal grin, making her gaze seem sincere. She could converse effortlessly with clerks, delivery personnel, and officials alike. She was luminous, sociable, and adaptable. She was liquid adapting flawlessly to any form. I, conversely, was a stone. I didn't adapt. I remained solid. I preferred truths. I favored tangible facts. While Celine honed charming her way from penalties, I was rearranging my collection by classification systems or calculating precipitation likelihoods from atmospheric shifts. My mother regarded me with bewilderment and sympathy. She'd remark that Ilara is challenging. She'd describe me to acquaintances as intense, her euphemism for inept in social settings. To my parents, allure was wealth, and I was destitute. They ceased attempts to shape me around adolescence. They accepted no refinement lessons could prevent me from rectifying a visitor's inaccuracy during a meal. If a person claimed traveling 2 hours at 60 miles per hour and arriving in 90 minutes, I'd compute mentally and note they must have exceeded limits substantially. Celine would have chuckled and refilled their beverage. I merely sought accurate calculations. Thus, I turned into the ambient sound. I was the dependable, dull fixture in the Voss abode. While Celine was the highlight, it was destined that Celine would wed someone like Barrett Hargrove. It was fated, or maybe in my mother's aspiration logs. Celine operated in luxury occasion coordination, a field dedicated to rendering elements lavish and seamless. It was ideal for seeking a partner. And when she introduced Barrett, my parents nearly shed tears of delight. Barrett was ideal. He was a Hargrove in our area. That title held significance. It signified inherited wealth. facilities named after forebears, and a position on cultural councils. Barrett was statuesque. He possessed a chin resembling sculpted marble and knew the ideal pairing for seafood. When they declared their union, my part was promptly assigned. I wasn't the honor attendant. I wasn't in the group. I was the organizer kept out of view. I labeled invitations due to my exact script. I verified agreements because I could detect flaws from afar. But during the event, I was invisible. I recall that occasion distinctly. It was 2 years past. The celebration occurred at an estate rented for hours at a cost exceeding my education fees. I entered the venue and sought my placement on the arrangement. I examined the primary seating. Absent. I checked the close kin areas, typically for guardians and offspring. Absent. I located my name at position 18. Position 18 was adjacent to the service entrances. My companions were an elderly relative with hearing issues, a pair of distant kin no one acknowledged, and a university associate of the groom evidently included from duty and already intoxicated. I remained there, observing servers pass with snacks that seldom reached our spot. I observed my parents at the premier spot, sharing laughs with the elder Hargroves. My father appeared victorious. He was toasting with Barrett's parent, a figure leading a vast organization. My mother presided, as if she'd originated the Hargrove legacy. And Barrett, he and Celine glided through the space, a whirl of ivory fabric and formal attire. They resembled animated decor. Eventually, they visited position 18. Celine embraced me, her scent lavish and overpowering. She expressed gratitude for my presence as if I were a remote acquaintance, not kin. Then she faced Barrett. "This is Alara," she stated. "My younger kin." Barrett regarded me. It was a courteous glance, similar to acknowledging a server replenishing your drink. He grinned, a taut, rehearsed look that missed his gaze. "Pleased to encounter you, Alara," he remarked. "Selene mentions you enjoy technology. That summed my essence to the Hargrove circle. I enjoyed technology." He didn't inquire about my role. He didn't probe my existence. He presumed from my standard garment and placement near service that I was possibly a support specialist or input operator. I clasped his palm. It was cool and arid. "Likewise," I replied, and they proceeded to position 19, leaving me behind. I avoided drama. I didn't spill a beverage. I didn't weep in private. I stayed, consumed my tepid entree, and departed post-dessert. Why endure it? Why permit such treatment as a concealed flaw? Because it simplified matters. It was simpler to allow their belief in my ordinariness than to convey my realm. My realm was conceptual. It rested on programming, reasoning, the unseen structure sustaining contemporary society. To my parents, achievement was visible. It was a prominent workspace, a luxurious ride, a mention in social logs. My achievement was code sequences on remote facilities in Nevada. They were unaware that while I occupied position 18 being overlooked, my device vibrated in my bag with updates from my creators. We were testing the fundamental mechanism for Pivot Nexus. While my father praised Celine's decor choices, I mentally resolved an adaptive framework for forecasting distribution interruptions from global tensions. I maintained dual existences. In one, I was Alara Voss, the letdown, the offspring who piloted a dated vehicle indifferent to luxury interiors. The offspring residing in an urban space my mother labeled stark for lacking decorative drapes. The offspring employed in innovation, a broad label my parents employed to dismiss my presence. In their view, I likely repaired devices or oversaw a site for a neighborhood shop. They never sought specifics. If I attempted explanation of Pivot Nexus's function, their interest waned swiftly. I streamlined distribution via anticipatory models, I'd state. "Sounds lovely, dear," my mother would respond, examining her hands. "Did you hear Celine advance to lead coordinator?" So, I halted clarifications. I permitted their tale. I allowed their faith that I struggled or barely managed. But in my alternate existence, the one from dawn to dusk, I was a powerhouse. I founded an organization discreetly reshaping international exchange. I was the figure entering discussions with seasoned distribution experts and outlining precisely why their paths drained funds. I was the one who could view a global chart and perceive not boundaries but movement. The movement of products, information, finances. I constructed Pivot Nexus not for wealth, but to combat disorganization. I despise squander. And worldwide distribution is the most disorganized, extravagant mechanism existing. My group and I engineered a system that processed vast data volumes, climate trends, energy costs, work disruption chances, political shifts, and generated the optimal route for a vessel from Houston to Seattle. We preserved clients vast sums monthly. We expanded rapidly, relocating twice annually, but I kept it segmented. During visits for festivals or occasions, I shed my leadership role. I donned casual attire. I drove the aged car. I nodded as my father advised on savings, aware my stake in Pivot Nexus exceeded his property value. I did this for self-preservation. If they discovered, relations would alter, but negatively. They wouldn't admire me. They'd exploit me. My father would seek to oversee my finances. My mother would expect funding for Celine's habits. They'd display me as a prize, claiming credit for an accomplishment they discouraged. I favored their sympathy over their exploitation. So, I mastered dullness. I became neutral, which returns us to the notification. My father's apprehension that I'd disgrace them before the Hargroves stemmed not from past incidents of disruption. I'd never overindulged publicly. I'd never initiated conflict. My offense was being unremarkable. The Hargroves were attending. Barrett was bringing his guardians. This was the pinnacle assembly of prominence, and my father desired the scene flawless. He wanted Celine, the radiant partner. He wanted himself as the triumphant head. He wanted my mother, the elegant receiver. He didn't want Alara, the uneasy figure in the shadows who might tire visitors with discussions of systems or, worse, sport attire from last year. He was altering the kin portrait, and he'd excised me. I reclined in my workspace seat, rotating gradually, gazing at the metropolis. The paradox was rich, dense like fine espresso. My father feared I'd spoil his opportunity to captivate the Hargroves. He saw me as the risk. He believed I didn't fit among the prominent. He was clueless that in days, Barrett Hargrove would enter my domain. He was unaware that the prominent Hargrove alliance desperately needed the innovation I'd crafted in my unassuming role. He thought he shielded the Hargroves from me. Truly, he should have alerted them. I rose and approached the planning board in my space. It featured schematics, processes, formulas. In a margin, a brief area for priorities. I seized a crimson pen. Beneath the duties for the week, I inscribed one title, Barrett. I replaced the pen with a firm snap. My kin assumed dual realms, the realm of prominence, where they savored fine drinks and debated leisure pursuits, and the realm of the average, where I dwelled with my tech. They believed those realms remained separate. They thought they could erect a barrier and confine me outside. But barriers are merely parameters in the system, and I excel at navigating them. I glanced at my timepiece. Time to depart. I'd pilot my aged vehicle to my simple residence. I'd consume a basic meal. I'd persist as the unexciting, underwhelming offspring they knew and endured for a few more days. Merely a couple more days as Alara, the secondary figure, since come the following morning, the secondary was about to emerge into focus, and I sensed the intensity would be overwhelming. The expansion of Pivot Nexus AI had been rapid, the type of growth that management programs analyze. Over the past year and a half, we'd established branches in Denver and Boston to manage the surge of major customers. We weren't a fledgling proving ideas anymore. We were the backbone other firms relied on for endurance. I had 150 specialists employed, a costly advisory group, and a refreshment allocation that might support a modest town. However, when I traveled to my parents' home for the required monthly meal, I avoided the firm vehicle, a smooth protected transport with darkened glass. I chose the Toyota. It was a decade-old model with a scratch on the rear and a cooler that clattered if elevated beyond medium. I stored it in a leased space blocks from my top-floor unit solely for these trips. I wore worn denim and tops from chain stores costing $40. I omitted my timepiece, an antique acquired at a European sale, lest my mother question if it was fake. I didn't do this to ridicule them. I did it as the easiest route. If I'd arrived in a luxury import clad in fine fabrics, the inquiries would commence. Not the desired ones like, how did you devise the delay minimization process? Or what's your approach for the Western market? No. They'd query if I dated a wealthy suitor providing these. They'd ask if I exceeded budgets. They'd probe for weaknesses, awaiting the admission of debt or trouble. My kin had designated me the underachiever. It soothed them. It amplified Celine's glow. If Alara was the muted, sensible, marginally faltering kin, then Celine was the triumphant tale. I merely attired for the role they'd scripted. But within the transparent barriers of Pivot Nexus, I wasn't muted. I was vibrant. The days prior to the Hargrove session, the workspace hummed with a particular strain I flourished in. The agreement in play was a multi-year soul pact. The Hargrove Alliance sought to embed our tech into all facets of their operations. They desired control over production timelines, store stock allocation, and international paths. It was enormous. It was the pact that shifted revenue digits. Execute it once more, I commanded, positioned at the control hub. We termed it the strategy chamber. It was an insulated area ruled by a panel of glowing monitors. Presently, the displays showed a virtual replica of the Hargrove Alliance distribution network. It was an intricate mesh of points and connections extending from plants in Mexico to hubs in Texas. Alara, we've tested the load 4 times, Nadia stated. She appeared fatigued. Her mug was empty. The setup endures. The setup endures under standard fluctuations, I amended. I want to witness it withstand catastrophe. Or better, refuse to fail amid chaos. Introduce a level 4 storm in the Gulf region. Nadia's hands darted over the keys, adding environmental disruption. On the display, a crimson vortex emerged near Florida. Instantly, the transport routes in the model reddened. Now, I directed, my sight sweeping the information stream. Include a workforce halt at the Port of Houston. Complete closure. Length 7 days. That's ruthless, a novice specialist murmured. Proceed, I ordered. The display blinked. 2 key channels of the network were cut. In conventional management, this would spell doom. Stock would accumulate, facilities would lack components, and storage would empty. Losses would mount in vast sums hourly. We observed the Pivot Nexus tech respond. It outpaced human cognition. Prior to the virtual storm hitting, the tech had redirected multiple vessels to alternate docks in Mobile and New Orleans. It had engaged transport providers in those zones to book space at increased costs before surges. Concurrently, it had issued directives to the plants to modify output, favoring profitable goods that could be flown, evading the halted dock. The estimated damage indicator on the display rose, paused, then declined as countermeasures activated. Forecasted effect, the automated tone declared. Shipment postponements capped at 2 days. Income reduction curbed to 4%. The space exhaled collectively. A manual group would have needed days of talks for that strategy. Our programming achieved it in under a minute. That, I indicated at the monitor. That's our offering for the week start. I require that precise model prepared. When Barrett Hargrove questions the value of our premium, I want to present the storm. I pivoted from the display and headed to the side table for liquid. My grip was stable. My thoughts clear. Marcus lounged against the barrier, observing me. He'd been quiet lately, atypical for him. He waited until the developers exited for a break before addressing. You're demanding a lot from them, Marcus remarked. I'm demanding excellence, I countered. The Hargrove Group isn't arriving for a trial run. They're seeking a fix. Marcus approached the surface and lifted a screen. He navigated pages, then placed it. He seemed uneasy. Alara, let's address the obvious concern, or the relative in the space. I sipped liquid. No concern exists. It's a customer. You understand my point, Marcus stated, lowering his tone. I performed the review you advised against. Barrett Hargrove wed Celine Voss, your kin. You attended their union. I discovered the notice in the press. I placed the container. I never denied attending. I mentioned my seat was distant enough to require magnification for the pledges. Does he realize? Marcus questioned. Does he know Pivot Nexus's head is the identical Alara Voss he encounters at gatherings? He doesn't encounter me at gatherings, I replied. He typically observes holidays at his guardian's property in the Berkshires. And no, he doesn't know. He probably recalls Celine possessing a kin, but he likely assumes I handle records or fix equipment. Marcus smoothed his locks. He appeared truly concerned. Ilara, this is huge. If we enter that space and catch him off guard, it might rebound. He could sense deception. He could think we orchestrated it. Pride is delicate, particularly for such figures. He's arriving because his area is losing funds, I stated, my tone firming. He's not here for kin ties. He's here from necessity. Possibly, Marcus yielded. But isn't a prior notice safer? A brief communication. Eager to meet. Incidentally, it's Alara. It neutralizes the surprise before entry. I regarded Marcus. He was competent in operations. He considered connections. He pondered subtle influence, but he didn't comprehend the Voss interactions. He didn't grasp that advance notice would allow defenses. It would permit Barrett to contact Celine to reach my father to contact me and implore cancellation or delegation to avoid shame. If I alerted beforehand, I'd forfeit narrative control. No, I declared. No alert. It's bound to be tense, Marcus cautioned. The instant of awareness. It could drain the atmosphere. I recalled the notification on my device. Stay away from holidays. You'll create tension. I recalled years of marginal seating, of being cut off, overshadowed. I recalled my father's reverence for Barrett, never extended to me. Marcus, I stated, facing him squarely. You're concerned he'll feel shamed. Yes, Marcus affirmed. Shamed individuals make poor choices. He'll only feel shamed if he acknowledges he should have recognized me long ago, I replied. And that's his oversight, not my secrecy. I've been visible. I've been adjacent for 3 years. If he never glanced, that's his diligence failure, not my openness. I returned to the primary display and reset the storm model. The chart reverted to serene azure. Moreover, I added, noting the timer, shame is a feeling. It's a response to unease. It's their inner mechanism. I'm not accountable for their emotions. I'm accountable for providing superior distribution tech. Marcus observed me extendedly. Then, he grinned gradually. It was acceptance mingled with odd caution. You're precise, Alara, he remarked. I am streamlined, I answered. There's distinction. All right, Marcus stated, retrieving his screen. Week start morning 9, no preliminaries. We allow them direct entry into the disclosure. It's not a trap, I amended. It's an unveiling. I spent the remaining days at work. I avoided home. I napped on the lounge in my private area for brief hours Saturday evening and requested delivery I consumed while examining contract fine print on responsibility. I required flawlessness. No loose ends. If Barrett Hargrove sought an exit, I ensured none in the output. The innovation must be irrefutable. The rationale unbreakable. Sunday evening came. The workspace was tranquil. Maintenance staff glided through corridors, clearing receptacles and shining surfaces. I positioned by my space's glass, overlooking urban illuminations. Somewhere in the upscale outskirts, my parents likely dined. They probably discussed the impending festive event. They likely felt relief at my compliance to absence. They likely informed Celine they'd manage the Alara issue, guaranteeing her ideal celebration with her ideal relatives remained untouched by my uneasy attendance. They believed they'd eliminated the factor. They believed they'd reset the field. I withdrew my device and viewed the exchange once more. Fine. That was my final response to my father. He was oblivious that while fretting over festive meals, the offspring he disdained was readying to bargain the trajectory of his kin's profession. 2 separate paths were converging. The path where I was the underachiever, and the path where I was the designer. They collided the next morning at 9. I deactivated the illumination in my space. Until tomorrow, Barrett, I whispered into the void. I proceeded to the lift, abandoning the vacant, silent workspace. It was prepared. I was prepared. The scene was arranged. All remaining was the participants' arrival and realization they were in an incorrect script. The next morning dawned with the exactness of a blade aligning. I positioned before the full mirror in my workspace washroom. The Alara Voss who navigated a noisy car and wore chain store tops vanished. In her stead was the head of Pivot Nexus AI. I donned a custom dark ensemble shaped to my form in New York. The material absorbed light. My locks were secured in a strict, geometric style, exposing my features fully. I wore no adornments save a lone silver ring on my finger and the classic timepiece on my arm. I appeared keen. I appeared costly. I appeared as a figure who could terminate employment without hesitation. I departed my space and descended via lift to the entry hall. It was 8:45. The entrance of Pivot Nexus AI was crafted to overwhelm. It was a vast area of glass and smooth stone, with heights reaching 30 feet. On the distant barrier, we'd mounted what Marcus dubbed the Achievement Mural. It was a virtual exhibit of milestones. There was an image of me addressing the National Distribution Conference in Chicago last year. In the shot, I gestured at a display, my expression resolute, outlining Autonomous Pathing's future. Adjacent was a mounted piece from a leading innovation publication with my image on the front, titled The Gain of Streamlining. Beside that were the certifications, arrays of framed innovation proofs affirming the programming on our systems was ours exclusively. I centered in the hall, palms behind me, Marcus positioned beside. He wore his finest gray attire, but he shifted balance restlessly. He was anxious. "They're minutes away," Marcus stated, checking his device. Guards cleared them at entry. "Good," I replied, my tone steady, my pulse 60 per minute. I verified. "Are we proceeding?" Marcus inquired finally. "We could direct them to the session area via assistant. You enter later. Allow them time to review materials." "No," I stated. "I want to welcome at the threshold. I want eye contact upon entry." Marcus exhaled, but adjusted his neckwear. He knew debate was futile in this state. The hall was quiet. The front desk attendant, a keen youth named Alex, was informed. He typed softly at his station, feigning occupation, but his gaze flicked to the primary access periodically. We awaited. The rumble of wheels on pavement outside, the solid close of vehicles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I observed the opaque glass of the main portals. Forms shifted beyond. The portals parted with a gentle whoosh. The Hargrove team entered. It resembled a reduced-speed film sequence. They advanced in a triangular array. Leading was Reginald Hargrove, the head of the Hargrove Alliance. He was in his 60s with gray locks and a complexion from wintering in Palm Beach. He exuded command. He wore a deep suit, likely costlier than my initial transport. To his side was their advisor, a female with spectacles and a case resembling secure documents. To his other was their operations head, a figure I knew from sector reports. And trailing, guarding the rear, was Barrett. Barrett Hargrove. He resembled his nuptial self, perhaps wearier. He wore a navy ensemble, fitted closely. He bore that assured, mildly disinterested look of someone unused to cues. He strode with head elevated, surveying the hall, absorbing the tall spaces, the lavish fixtures, the operation's magnitude. His sight swept the achievement mural. He viewed the image of me in Chicago. He viewed the publication front. His sight passed without awareness, registering as standard decor. Then his sight fixed on me. He paused briefly. His stride stumbled. He narrowed slightly, a subtle squint. It was the expression of recalling a distant memory. He examined my features, then attire, then features again. He noted the recognition, but his mind dismissed the link. In his view, his kin by marriage was a plain, uneasy female in tech. She didn't position in a vast enterprises hall in custom silk. She didn't resemble this. So, he ignored it. He blinked, reset his demeanor, and continued. Reginald Hargrove approached first. "Mr. Hargrove," I stated, offering my palm. "Welcome to Pivot Nexus." Reginald accepted, his clasp firm. Expert. He regarded me with true curiosity. You are the head, Reginald remarked, his tone deep. We've caught wind of activity from this location. Positive activity. It's gratifying to meet the force behind it. Ilara Voss, I declared. I pronounced clearly. Every sound. Voss. It was ordinary. In this region, countless Vosses. It triggered no alerts for Reginald. Why would it? He probably ignored his kin's prior surname. To him, Celine was solely Celine Hargrove, but Barrett caught it. I saw his focus sharpen. He positioned feet behind his guardian. The name struck. Ilara Voss. He regarded me anew. This time, he didn't glance. He examined. He traced my profile. He observed my gaze. He noted my stance. The elements floated in his thoughts, but didn't connect yet due to contextual mismatch. Ilara, Reginald proceeded, oblivious to the brewing strain. This is my group. This is Sophia, our advisor. This is Victor, our operations. I clasped with Sophia and Victor. I was courteous, welcoming. I greeted them to the base. And this, Reginald stated, shifting to expose Barrett, is Barrett Hargrove. He manages our streamlining unit. He's the advocate who highlighted your platform to the council. He's been your strongest supporter in our sessions. Barrett advanced. He had no choice. No retreat. He extended his palm. He moved sluggishly. His complexion paled. The assurance fractured, replaced by deep bewilderment. Barrett, I stated. I delayed my palm. I let his hang briefly, long enough for unease, long enough for his guardian to note the pause. Then I accepted. It's delightful to host you, I remarked. My tone cool, polite, distant. Barrett clasped. He held momentarily. He stared intensely, nearing impropriety. Do I? He began, halted. Apologies. You seem remarkably known. The hall quieted. Marcus beside ceased breath. The attendant stopped input. Reginald Hargrove chuckled. Well, Barrett, her image is on Innovation Monthly's front, there on the mural. Perhaps dentist waiting area. Reginald amused himself. No others joined. Barrett ignored the mural. He fixed on me. He sought the Ilara he knew, the marginal one in neutral wear. He attempted superimposing that on the female before him, his mind erring. No, Barrett stated gradually. Not that. We've crossed paths, right? He posed directly. A test. He required confirmation. I withdrew my palm. I folded them ahead. I maintained his stare. Unblinking. We have, I affirmed. Reginald glanced between, curious. Former associates? Recruited from rivals? Barrett? No, I stated, shifting gaze to Reginald, back to Barrett. Socially. Barrett's lips parted slightly. Socially? I attended your union, I remarked. The phrase lingered. Barrett furrowed. My union? Were you staff? Managed audio? Such a demeaning presumption. Even now, facing a tech firm's head, his instinct assumed service role. A class habit. I grinned. Keen, perilous. No, Barrett, I murmured. Guessed. He stared vacant. Position 18, I proceeded. Tone casual as recalling climate. Near service, I think next to your university associate who illed during addresses. Barrett's complexion shifted from pale to ashen. The recall forced through. Position 18. The kin. The uneasy kin. Ilara, he breathed. Barely audible. Yes, I affirmed. Celine's. He couldn't complete. Celine's kin, I concluded. I faced Reginald Hargrove. The head regarded me, then Barrett, expression altering from entertainment to astonishment. You are Celine's kin? Reginald questioned. My kin's kin. I am, I replied. But Reginald appeared perplexed. I was unaware Celine's kin led Pivot Nexus. We've discussed this firm months. Why Barrett omit? Reginald faced Barrett. Barrett appeared desiring ground swallow. He omitted because unaware. Unaware because never inquired. Never inquired because indifferent. I believe a gap exists, I stated smoothly. relieving Barrett response. My kin and I separate work lives. I understand, Reginald remarked. Though not. Delightful twist. Tight world. Simplifies matters. Nearly kin. He grinned, assuming Link eased talks. Assuming discount. I corrected promptly. Tight world, I concurred. Though I confess surprise at your presence. Why? Reginald inquired. I regarded Barrett. Locked gaze. Wanted him here. Wanted convey to Celine, father. Well, I stated, tone mild, nearly regretful. I got a note from Father Friday on holidays. Barrett tensed. He knew. Knew note content as Celine likely shared handling a Lara issue. Oh, Reginald polite. Holiday prep? Not precisely, I replied. I advanced slightly. Let quiet extend. Told to avoid holidays this year, I said. Reginald's grin wavered. What? Father requested absence, I clarified, tone emotionless. Specific reason. Said Celine's relatives, you, Mr. Hargrove, and you, Barrett, are prominent. I wielded term precisely. Worried, I proceeded. I'd create unease. Felt I mismatched company level you maintain. To avoid shame. Excluded. The ensuing quiet wasn't mere hush. It vacuumed air from hall. Reginald Hargrove immobilized. Lips ajar. He regarded me. Head of firm he sought alliance. Female in multi-million base. Then processed kin deemed her inadequate for meal. He pivoted slowly to Barrett. Reginald's expression unfriendly. Deep perplexity blended rising fury. He businessman. Understood worth. Just informed his kin's kin insulted room's key figure for him. Barrett avoided guardian. Fixed on floor. Ears vivid crimson. Barrett stuttered. Ilara, I unaware. I know, I replied. That's core, isn't it? I noted time. Snapped strain. But I shifted to commerce. That's kin affair. Here for distribution. Assume here as network loses $400,000 daily in flaws. Correct? Reginald blinked, escaping shock. Regarded me anew. Not respect. Caution. Realized minefield. Yes, Reginald stated, tone faint. Correct. Then ascend. I gestured lifts. Prepared model, think enlightening. I turned. Walked lifts, footwear echoing. Didn't glance back. Heard shuffle. Felt Barrett's regret radiating. Marcus matched pace. Said nothing, but tiny nod. As lift opened, entered, turned. Hargrove team crowded. Barrett cornered, minimizing. Doors closed, enclosing. Ascending, I said. We were. Ascending top where I'd dissect operations, rebuild. They'd pay millions. Best they'd inform father. They'd explain excluded. Explain uneasy kin held realm keys. Watched levels rise. Entry 2, 3, 4. Never felt more prominent. Lift opened executive level, revealing sweeping metropolis view usually halting newcomers. Hargrove team didn't halt. Exited clustered. Lobby quiet, trailing like dense mist. Led to primary session space. Designed for market-shifting choices. Table single ebony slab 20 feet. Seats, ergonomic wonders. Far barrier all glass. Others high-res displays dark, awaiting command. Please. I motioned left seats. Settle. Reginald Hargrove didn't sit promptly. Stood table end, palm on leather back. Regarded me, eyes narrowing. Man-built empire grasping concealed drives, solving a Lara Voss puzzle. Barrett seated distant end, far as possible. Appeared awaiting verdict, kept palms lap, ignoring water, pad. Marcus right. I stood table head. Didn't sit. Prior demo, Reginald stated, voice-piercing ventilation hum. Need query. Businessman Ms. Voss. Dislike unknowns. Query, I said. Downstairs you mentioned kin excluded holidays fearing unease for us, Reginald said. Gestured group, fearing our critique. Correct, I answered. Why? Reginald blunt. Single sound. Why kin woman leading this scale fear she inadequate for us? Illogical. Place palms table leaning. Illogical you as view world assets, equity, I calm. My kin views optics. Father, sister, I'm not head. I'm kin deviated script. Work innovation, They interpret as repairing links or entering data. Don't comprehend, so assume minor. Looked Barrett. He recoiled. Barrett? Eye soft. What Celine say my occupation? Barrett swallowed. Face torment. Said IT aid. Said struggling stabilize. There, falsehood preserve Voss image perfect. If struggling, Celine rescuer. If small, she large. Told struggling, I repeated. Believed, assumed I'd unease around success. Assumed resentful, ill-attired, lacking grace past condiment Hargrove meal. Didn't know, Barrett whispered. No, didn't, I said. Reginald sharp exhale. True annoyance. Protect ego, hid you. Decided vendor desperate higher liability. Protecting brand, I said. Cold analysis. Voss brand perfection. I'm anomaly. Model. Efficient handle anomaly delete. Reginald regarded strange. Horror admiration mix. Accepted? Asked. Typed fine. Resumed work. Mr. Hargrove, I said upright. Don't expend energy low return fights. Kin view status irrelevant bottom line. Your view does. Saw shift Reginald eyes. Saw not victim. Predator chose spare own. Terrifying individual. Alara Voss. Reginald quiet. Pulled seat. Sat. Show. Willingly, I said. Tapped screen. Room dimmed. Shades auto. Vast displays activated. Gentlemen, I said. Pitch rhythm. Discuss $400,000 burning daily. Center display world map. Moving lights. Ships. Flights. Vehicles. Hargrove current network. Chaos red orange lines delays chokes. Your reality? I pointed South Gulf cluster red tangles. Rely fixed pathing. Team plans historical. Assume past repeat, but world volatile. Energy costs minute shifts. Tempest hours. Work stops night. Swiped. This, I said. Pivot nexus. Lines shifted. Organism self-repair. Red-green. Tangles resolved. Our tech ignores past, I explained. Views now, forecasts ahead. Process massive data second. Track satellite climate, global news, currency, social for unrest pre-signs. Looked Victor, operations. Leaned, mouth agape, data fixed. Victor, I said. Prior period. Lost $2 million perishables decayed Miami dock customs halt, right? Victor nodded silent. Yes, unanticipated. Pivot nexus anticipated, I said. Pulled timeline left display. System flagged halt probability 14 days prior local reports. Group talk secure. Said. Running pivot. Auto reroute shipments. Tampa 3 days pre. Reroute cost $40,000. Savings $1.96 million. Room silent. Figures lingered. Undeniable harsh. 1.9 million. Reginald muttered. One load. Scale operation. I continued. Production forecast part lacks pre-line stop. Commerce forecast demand spikes areas weather events. Inventory pre-customer. Looked Barrett. He screened, but saw else. Saw error scale. Realized desk agonizing reports. Dismissed kin built. Prayed solution. Barrett, I said, drawing in. You streamlining. No reactive pain. Days extinguishing blazes. Offer blaze prevention. Barrett regarded. Eyes moist. Not shame. Professional wonder. Numbers guy. Viewed loveliest numbers. Works, Barrett said. Voice quiver. Model handles parameters flawlessly. Does? I said. Switched financial forecast. Your scale, I said. Project 22% distribution cost cut year 1. Savings roughly $85 million. Fee $12 million year. Investment return instant. Deactivated display. Illumination rose. Stood, regarded. Stripped failures. Offered rescue. Reginald reclined. Deep inhale. Regarded advisor. Sophia nodded. Regarded Victor. Victor emphatic. Regarded me. Contract yours, Reginald said. No bargain. No price wrangle. Show drowning lifeline. No color query. Papers ready day end, I said. Standard, 3-year bind. Fine, Reginald said. Rose. Table rose. Session ended. Deal sealed, but air-thick personal debris hour start. Reginald circled table, front me. Tall, but I held. Met gaze. Alara said. Name, new gravity, familiarity. Great collaboration. Company extraordinary. Thank Reginald, I said. But, continued, tone lower, firmer. Issue file. Oh, I asked. Dislike deception, Reginald said. Dislike talent disrespect. Your kin. Grave misjudgment. Insults intellect thought I'd prioritize club over mind built this. Looked door, as seeing father. Excluded holidays, Reginald said. Headshake. Us. Sticks throat. Use name wound you. Use name shield selves, I amended. Difference. Barrett advanced. Looked drained. Wedding arrogance gone. Ilera, Barrett said. Apologize fully. Should known. Should asked wedding. Should queried Celine more. Accepted story. Sorry. Regarded. Could twist. Could force plea. Inefficient. Emotional. Barrett said. Didn't know, didn't ask. Data flaw. Correct future. Barrett nodded. As divine order. Will. Promise. Reginald fastened coat. Grim resolve. Signing, Reginald said. Also call. Call? I asked. Your father, Reginald said. Custom partners socialize. Paying daughter $12 million year? Needs serious talk elite definition. Mr. Hargrove, I said. No need my fights. Not yours anymore, Alara. Reginald said, predator grin. Now commerce. Never let poor element tarnish brand. Extended palm. Welcome, Hargrove kin, Alara. Real. Not table cares. Shook. Thank Reginald. Turned depart. Watched exit boardroom. Barrett glanced back threshold. Fear-reverence mix. Pulled device walking. Digits rapid. New recipient. Turned window. City same hour prior. World axis shifted. Contract secure. Revenue fixed. Suburbs. Father's device ring. Not thrilled Hargrove contact. Signature fresh reality settled room. Standard file. Pages dense terms. To me Independence Manifesto. Closed $36 million 3 years pivot Nexus AI. Validation shifted high potential to standard. No vendor. Nervous system multi-billion. Room breathed. Advisors secured pens. Tension 2 hours dissolved. Clasps exchanged. Genuine from shared gain. Reginald rose. Smoothed jacket. Satisfied. Came bleeding sheet. Found stop. Excellent Reginald room. Then me. Ms. Voss word. Gestured glass overlooking city. Away team collecting documents. Disconnecting. Walked. Felt light. Lifted. Negotiation rush faded. Replaced steady success hum. Yes, Reginald. Asked. 40 years game. Quiet. Me here. Met geniuses inept basic. Fools charm deadly. Rarely your mixability invisibility. Head tilt. Invisibility strategy. Allows focus, distraction free. Business reply. Reginald dismissed wave. Human query. Why allow? Didn't specify. Why permit kin treat embarrassing note long? Built kingdom. Command respect tier percentage. Yet father say no dinner not elite. Why? Looked window. Aircraft crossed horizon. Tiny dot gray skies. Don't need tell good, said. Validation code. Efficiency scores. Employees coverage. Homes pay built. Noble, Reginald said. Not full truth. Truth, continued. Accepted version easier force red book. If failure, safe. If awkward, Celine special. Didn't care correct. Didn't need applause exist. Turned him. Don't need proud, Reginald. Need stop insult pretend protect. Reginald nodded slow. Understood indifferent self-guard. Well, said grim grin. Pretend day's over. Dropped bomb narrative. Glanced shoulder. Conference door. Barrett paced. Device ear. Palm mouth. Pale. Frantic. No longer composed leader. Man quicksand ground. Barrett calling, Reginald noted. Imagine so, said. Calling sister. Must. Explain signed major pact woman told Charity. Explain father insulted key partner Hargrove now. Reginald me twinkle. Wouldn't want call end. Neither, honest. Reginald hand shoulder. Touch integration next week. Enjoy win. Alara, earned. Gathered team left. Barrett trailed. Whispering urgent device. Eyes dart me terror slip door. Room empty. Marcus approached. Champagne reserve cooler. Did it, Marcus said. 36 million. Ice it said. One more discussion. Do? Marcus asked. Who? Device rang. Walnut table, vibrating wood. Screen lit. Celine. Her, said. Marcus phone, me. Nodded, quiet left room. Shut heavy glass. Stared device. Rang 4. Picked. Hello, Celine. Calm. Voice shrill. What done? Screamed. Ilara. What hell done? Sat head chair. Signed contract, lucrative, happy. Secures husband bonus 3 years. Barrett called. Voice tremble rage panic. Hyperventilating. Said CEO. Said humiliated front father. Said Reginald furious. Didn't humiliate. Introduced. If truth humiliating. Flaw story told. Ambushed. Celine cried. Knew coming. Could told. Warned. So what? Asked. So tell dad retract note? Pretend want holiday save face? Don't games, Celine. Dad heart attack. Said Barrett called too. Asked why insult Pivot Nexus CEO. Dad didn't know Pivot Nexus. Thought clothing outlet. Almost laughed. Clothing outlet. Perfectly typical painful. Sounds tough them. Said, fail see my crisis. Ilara please. Celine shift. Anger broke. Fear under. Don't understand Hargroves. Big respect. Big unity. If think dysfunctional liars, we liars. Cut. Or you. Didn't mean hurt. Sobbed. Wanted smooth. Fit. Know them. Perfect. Barrett perfect. Wanted family right. Didn't right. Said, no, don't. Blurted, backtrack. Mean, different. Don't care events. Don't care outfits. Thought explain away easier. Told Barrett finding self. Told needed aid. Closed eyes. Told needed aid. Made sound kind. Argued weak. Made sound project. People love project. Made us caring lookout struggling kin. Realization cold hard. Not ashamed. Worse. Used fabricated failure boost social. Celine not hiding. Using fake me prop benevolent. Saintly kin caring poor confused Ilara. Being struggling gave Celine role. Depth. Without failure, girl married rich. With failure, matriarch training. Needed small, said. Voice no business, quiet dangerous. Needed small feel big. Isn't? No, wept. No Ilara. Love. If loved no am, said. Wouldn't invent sister real inconvenient narrative. What do? Asked. Barrett home, says talk, says feels doesn't know am. Ilara help, tell didn't know, tell thought small venture. Asking lie, asking dim light last save shadow. Can't, said. Why? Pleaded. Powerful now, right? Big CEO, afford generous. Tell misunderstanding, looked contract table. Signature Ilara Voss. Powerful, said. Power accuracy, business truth, data no lie, numbers no lie, done lying you. Ilara please Celine, said, mess curate reality not exist, wanted prominent life bad, erase own sister get, now have prominent life, have Hargroves, house. Asking questions. Hate, whispered. Hate if keep lying. Said, Barrett smart, values streamlining, logic. Want save union, stop perform. Stop perfect Hargrove wife, try honest Voss offspring once. Don't know, admitted. Don't know else. Then problem AI can't solve. Said. Silence line. Heard breath ragged wet. What do? Asked. Tell dad? Don't tell dad anything, said. Imagine Reginald doing now. Or Barrett. Coming Christmas? Asked. Reflex. No, said. Company run frankly think not fit. Here list very prominent. Don't mock voice break. Not mocking Celine. Quoting. Stood. Done. Want sister said. Real sister. Not one pities friend's meal. Start truth. Call Barrett. Tell all. Why lied. Do. Maybe talk. If don't. Asked. Keep invented sister. Said. But won't answer number anymore. Hung. Placed device table. Silence room total. Walked window. Forehead cool glass. Strange chest sensation. Not triumph. Not joy. Heavy load severed. Lost family perhaps. But feeling never truly had. Only role play. Now walked stage, show collapsing. Door opened. Marcus head. Everything fine? Asked. Yes, said, turning. Everything streamlined. Team Bar Street celebrate. Marcus said, want no boss coming. Looked empty schedule. Looked father note still not deleted. Stay away Christmas. Yes, said Marcus. Coming. Grabbed covering. Let's prominent. Next morning began deceptive calm retreating wave. Workspace quiet. Air fresh ventilation. Team moved sluggish post-celebration 36 million till late. Desk reviewing year-end metrics when intercom buzzed. Front desk. Ms. Voss. Attendant voice tight, higher pitch. 2 visitors lobby. No appointment, say parents. Froze. Hand mouse hover. Expected call. Expected note. Expected perhaps lengthy message mother detailing hurt cause scene. Not expected drive city. Navigate tech security. Stand lobby. Send up, said. Stood. Walked door. Looked hall. Right main boardroom. Glass sanctuary dismantled Hargrove day prior. Impressive. Overwhelming. Majestic. Didn't want there. Boardroom peers. Respect work. Marcus. Called COO passing coffee. Reserve 5C now. Marcus stopped. 5C? Cramped. Barely table. Exactly, said. Bring water pitcher. No brew, no treats. Water. 5C small huddle room. Quick individual reviews or fast code checks. Small circular table. 3 seats. No vibe. Functional. Cold. Perfect for parents' evaluation. When lift opened, saw. Father navy jacket brass buttons. Reserve services or club meals. Mother beige outfit. Bag shield. Looked misplaced stark pivot nexus modern. Looked visitors different era. Appearance sole value. Saw me. Hesitation steps. Looked bustling. Developers debating boards. Screens live feeds. Scale. Looked small. Ilara. Mother voice waver. Moved embrace. Didn't advance. Didn't open. Gestured small room. Here, said. Tone not angry. Not loud. Voice vendor deadline miss. Voice boundary concrete. Followed 5C. Father shut glass door. Walls clear. Office C. No here. Fishbowl first time displayed. Sat. Room tight. Knees near table. Father cleared throat. Adjusted tie. Looked. Flicker old authority. Reflex control patriarch. Need discuss yesterday, began. Stern as teen scratched car. Got disturbing call Reginald Hargrove, another Barrett. Imagined, said. Why silent? Father demanded. Leaned, hands table. Why let trap? Knew who. Knew worried meal. Could told running this. Waved room, building, company, success. Didn't know company this, added. Accusation, as success secret malicious not never asked. Didn't answer, immediate. Pocket device, unlocked, opened exchange. Scrolled Friday note. Note started cascade. Stay away Christmas. Hargrove's prominent. Place device center table. Screen up between. Explain, said. Father looked phone. Words. Didn't read. Knew. Wrote. That. Started. Stopped. Looked away. You're good, Ilara. Trying shield. Shield what? Asked. Meal? Talk? From out place, Mother interjected. Near tears. Poise crack. Dear, know you. Don't like parties. Quiet. Corner. Hargroves. Very refined. Talk culture. Journeys. Didn't want feel inferior. Decided remove. Said. Didn't want awkward. Mother insisted. Everyone. Everyone repeated. Or you. Looked father. Stared phone. Jaw move. Proud man. Trapped own contradiction. Honest, Dad, said. Once 33 years. Once. Truth. Why send note? Looked up. Eyes hard, defensive. Thought failure. Snapped. Words hung small room. Echo silence. Mother gasped. Hand mouth. Harlan. Whispered. No, father said, face flush. Honest wants. Fine, Ilara. Thought scraping. Thought fixing tech basement. Thought awkward social, stagnant professional. Yes, Hargrove's coming, run global, judge success status. Embarrassed. Embarrassed introduced daughter thought nothing life. Man like Reginald Hargrove. Stopped. Breathe hard. Brutal. Cruel. Needed here. Didn't flinch. Didn't weep. Felt cold clarity. Thank, said. Father surprised reaction. Expected crumble. Expected daughter wedding. Sat 18 accepted. Thought failure said. Level. Hid. Treated flaw cover furniture. Didn't know, Mother cried. If known CEO, known successful, obviously wouldn't, trailed, realized late said. Obviously, wouldn't excluded. Finished. If knew money power, head table, trophy show. Not fair, Mother said. Entirely fair, countered. Exactly happening now. Here office unannounced. Morning after found valuable, not apologize hurt. Came Reginald Hargrove called. Told failure daughter saved business. Now terrified lost prestige access. Father stiffened. Not access. Father. Father uninvited child holidays job title. Said, don't pretend biology. Optics. Always. Picked phone table, pocket, made calculation, told, language understood. Calculated risk, embarrass higher value presence. Ran numbers, decided liability. Problem dad, data wrong. Input flawed, model crashed. Father looked me first, not child, stranger. Looked suit, confidence posture. Realized daughter thought manage outgrown. Didn't mean hurt, said, voice quiet. Aggression gone, sullen defeat. Wanted family look good. Didn't make family good, said. Made look deceivers. Reginald didn't ask why not wedding. Asked why family ashamed, respects skill. Dad respects work. When hid, didn't look prominent. Looked insecure. Hit. Saw land. Attempt prominent exposed opposite ego bruise. Mother reached table touch hand. Pulled slightly. Fix? Asked. Elara, please. Christmas? Do over. Come meal. Seat next Barrett. Tell everyone company. Celebrate. Make up Christmas, dry. Yes. Eager. Celebration. Real kin holiday. Hargrove's there. Show united. Looked. Desperate. Wanted rewrite 48 hours. Bring fold, not missed. Now shiny display guests. Shook head. No, said. No, Father asked, refusing. Setting terms, said. Negotiation, isn't? Want something. Presence, validation, status repair Hargroves. Price. One finger. One. No prominent talk. Here prominent class status. Leave. Walk door not return. Second finger. Two. No contrasts. Not compare Celine. Not Celine me. Not competitor's bet. She job. I mine. Third finger. Three. Key. Not use fix image. Not boast company look important. Tell always new special nurtured talent. Correct public. Tell exactly supported. Parents silent. Stunned. Never heard speak. Used Elara said fine. Not ready Elara terms. Being hard. Mother soft. Being real, said. Wanted prominent experience. This. Business done. Want asset. Pay price. Father looked long. Looked glass walls. Employees pass. Some wave nod respect. Saw world built without. No leverage. Fine, said. Voice rough. Fine, Elara, accept. Good, said. Stood. Meeting over. Engineering leads 10 minutes. Lied. Can't escort. Attendant validate parking. Dismissal. Type give salesperson time excess. Parents stood. Looked older, entered. Mother adjusted strap. Hands tremble. Father fastened jacket. Gesture lack pomp. Walked door. Father paused handle. Looked back. Really didn't know, Elara said. All this. No, said. Why sad? Not didn't know. Never looked. No answer. Opened door. Walked. Mother followed. Last confused look. Seeking child ribbons inside CEO. Watched long haul lifts. Walked close, shoulders touch. Two leaving foreign land, no language. Leaving realization lost can't buy. Lost power define. 30 years. Who said? Now who said? Sat back small chair 5C. Sipped water Marcus brought. Cool clean. Checked time. Work due. Moment sat. Breathe room silence. Feel terrifying freedom orphan living parents. Invitation Wednesday. Delivered not aid. Reginald Hargrove personal. Called personal line 7 evening. Time executives shift battle dining. Meal, said. Tomorrow, hard reserve spot at Verve. Just kin. Assume not parents, replied, laptop rest. Not, Reginald said. My kin, me, spouse, Barrett, Celine, you. Consider reintroduction. System restart, if will. Hesitated. Deal signed. Ink dry. No duty share meal ignored 3 years. But Reginald shrewd. New business never just. Biology. Bonds. Wanted sea dish coexist without destroy. There, said. But Reginald. Yes, Alara. If ambush force mend, warned. Bill hourly. Reginald laughed. Raspy. No ambushes. Food, bit truth. Arrived venue exact. Wore dress deep slate. Rigid severe, collar no debate. Armor fashion. Host led private nook back. Hargrove's there. Reginald wife. Keen woman named Vivian. Pearls large berries. One side. Barrett Celine other. Empty chairhead. Left power me. Approached. Reaction instant. Barrett rose fast. Nearly spill water. Reginald rose graceful predator. Vivian stood. Polite appraising nod. Celine. Sister looked gallows walk. Dress too vivid. Patterned attempt cheer. Hands napkin lifeline. Looked me wide. Terrified. Waiting axe. Expected storm. Splash face. Yell note. Didn't provide. Good evening, said ease. Sat. Placed bag table. Unfolded napkin lap. Commute unusually smooth, noted. Table tension didn't snap. Shifted. Confused. Braced impact. Commented traffic. Usually eases post 7, Reginald said. Cue quick. Alara, no Barrett, this spouse, Vivian. Pleasure, said Vivian. Admire Arts Alliance work. Saw event images last month. Vivian blinked. Surprise tech-aware charity. Thank, dear. Didn't know arts interest. Interest data, smooth. Fundraising numbers impressive. Vivian glowed. Easy. But Selene trembled. Stared, waiting drop. Couldn't grasp no punish. Punish needs emotion. Implies actions power hurt. Their show didn't. Ordered. Wine flowed. Starters arrived. Reginald leaned, swirling red. Decided skip niceties. Ilara said, read contract tech supplement today. Fluid pathing section. Page 42, said without tartar glance. Exactly. Reginald said, describe networks not straight organic webs. Compare body circulation. Origin? Real query. Mind query, not status stress. From setback said, 2 years linear attempt. Crashed variable change. Climate, tensions, energy. Chain broke. Realized building track, needed river. Water no break rock. Flows. Rebuilt code act water. Spent next 10 explain pivot nexus core. Nodes, resistance factors. Chaos, beauty harness algorithm. No simplify. Used field terms. Reginald rapped. Vivian intrigued. Even misterms. Barrett nodded. Work brain override personal regret. Celine watched. Fork mid. Stared. 33 years. Think never heard speak over minutes without interrupt posture correct or shift light. Hearing real voice first. Seeing Reginald, demigod her, look intellectual regard. Brilliant, Reginald murmured. Shifts industry model. Creates worth gentle correct. Brilliance vanity. Worth pays. Barrett cleared. Quiet drink nurse. Looked me, father me. Looked man cliff jump hope water bottom. Need tell, Barrett said. Voice tight. Table quiet. Celine touched arm. Silent stop plea. Pulled. What, Barrett? Reginald sharp. 3 years prior, Barrett said. Direct me. Pre-union, pre-Celine proper. Distribution summit Denver. Skipped talks. Grabbed reports tables. Nodded. Western summit. Yes, Barrett said. Picked title myth fixed stock. Anonymous. Just firm name unknown. Pivot nexus. Stealth then, said. No names research. Read flight return, Barrett admitted. Solved Nevada storage issue. Used. Breath. Memo council week after. Barrett continued. Suggested stock approach based report. No source site. Presented idea own. Saved unit 4 million quarter. Actually promotion reason executive. Silence heavy. Theft confession intellect. Academy, expelled. Corporate, sued, less. Celine horrified. Looked husband murder confess. Perfect husband built rep failure kin ideas. Reginald stormy. Barrett stole. Didn't know Alara, Barrett pleaded, not point. Thought startup fail month. Didn't matter. Looked me. Sorry, Alara. Sat 3 days. Since lobby logo. Realized stole before dismiss. Looked. Could ruin. Looked Reginald, integrity team. Demanded resign deal part, but vengeance not destroy. Vengeance reorder world top. Sipped wine. Set slow. Didn't steal Barrett. Said, validated. Blinked. What? Proved works. Said, applied theory real, saved $4 million, first success test. Unaware experiment part. I Barrett stammered. Still should cited. Yes, said. Voice cooler. Should. Now no source. Expect accurate notes future. Use pivot idea. Name it. Clear? Crystal, Barrett said. Relief weep. Thank Ilara. Don't, said. Pay bills timely. Reginald bark laugh. Shook head. Son-in-law disappointment relief crisis managed. Got lucky Barrett. Sudden sound table side. Choked sob. Turned. Celine crying. Not pretty wedding cry. Ugly. Messy. Face crumple. Not Barrett. Me. Celine. Vivian concerned. Dear. Fine? Didn't know. Celine gasped. Really didn't. Established? Calm? Not company? You? Didn't know you. Shook head violent. Sat years, said voice shake. Told everyone simple. Told happy little tech hobbies. Told self because if simple, complex one. If boring, interesting one. Looked. First saw fear behind perfect grin. But aren't simple. Whispered. This. Talk Rivers points. Make Reginald listen. Made Barrett executive idea wrote travel. Treated child. Treated prop. Corrected. Sorry. Sobbed. Embarrassed. Not you. Me. Paraded pretend queen. Didn't realize standing next castle owner. Raw, bare moment. Moment perfect spouse died. Actual sister born. Messy. Insecure. Finally real. Reach table. No hug. No okay. Hand hers. Not stupid, Celine said. Wrong mirror. Mom-dad's mirror. Reflection warped. Gripped hand. Tight. Reginald watched exchange quiet intensity. Waited Celine compose, server refill. Intimacy settle. No, Reginald said. Forward. Much talk circles word. Prominent. Looked Barrett. Celine. People think means right institutions, Reginald said. Or addresses, surnames, parents, Celine. Seem think means avoid unease. Turned me. But business, Reginald said. Prominent action term. Not who. What do? Prominent treat create worth. Barrett failed no sight source. Celine failed underestimate blood. Raised glass. Ilara, Reginald said. Walked room unwanted. Proved only belong. Clinked. Sound clear, sharp bell. Rest meal different. Dynamic permanent shift. Celine no lead talk. Asked real. Manage staff. Travel much. Like terminate. Learning. Studying new language master. Bill came. Reginald paid silent. Walked valet. Air crisp, winter near. Holiday lights trees avenue, glitter dark. See Monday integration start. Barrett said me. Stood straighter. Eye contact. Monday, agreed. Celine hugged. Not air kiss usual. Squeezed hard. Sure won't Christmas? Asked. Real? No dad. No odd. Us. Can't, said. Plans. Fine, said. Accepted fine. Reginald car arrived. Sleek dark transport. Driver door. Drop somewhere, Alara? Reginald asked. No thank, said. Car corner. Toyota? Barrett asked. Small aware grin. No, said. Didn't bring Toyota tonight. Valet pulled other car. Never drove parents. Porsche 911 deep indigo. Engine rumbled low. Growl vibrate ground. Celine jaw drop. Barrett eyes wide. Reginald brow raise appreciation. Fine vehicle, Reginald said. Transports AB, said. Valet door, slid leather. Looked last. Stood curb. Prominent Hargrove kin sister watch. Not down, not up. Finally eye level. Nodded once, gear, drove. No vengeance rush, no win high. Felt expansive. Felt occupy precise space meant. Merged highway, venue behind. Realized revenge mattered. Not burn house. Built larger, first invited sea view. Days pre-Christmas usually slow warm immersion most kin. But Voss Group, year high velocity impact. December 22nd, city silver gold, snowtops towers, phone distraction weapon. Silence parents me since 5C confrontation broke. Not apology, campaign, messages Thursday morning, mom, residents stunning. Ilara, hung decor liked. Dad, Aunt Lydia asks you. Wants no bringing companion. Selene, please. Ilara, respond. Sat office watch messages, side monitor review final year metrics. Hypocrisy stunning. 5 days ago, liability. Awkward Mark scrub holiday image. Now, suddenly, honor. Not inviting missed daughter. Inviting math. Realized Hargroves. Impressed targets valued me. Impress Hargroves. Need value me too. No longer secret shame. Bait. No reply. Let accumulate. Treated low alerts. Friday afternoon. Tone sentiment desperate. Dad. Hargroves confirmed Eve meal. Reginald asked specific if there. Told yes, must come. There, lie. Father sold attendance. Promised Reginald family whole. Prove fixed home glitch. If no show, not bad parent. Liar important link. Picked phone. Typed single father. Plans. Response instant. Typing bubble. Cancel. Family. Laughed. Short dry empty office. Family. Word elastic hands lost form. Family club kicked embarrassing. Drafted profitable. No backhouse. No crime scene. Focused own. Every year. Pivot Nexus year gala. Early. Pizza brew rented. Now. Event capital. Rented Grand Hall Contemporary Gallery. Cater stations represent 6 areas networks. Guest list top specialists, backers, allies. Scheduled December 23rd, night pre-eve, my night. Celebrated actual support. Called Marcus office. Expand list said. Marcus tablet. Capacity Ilara, 250. Who add? Hargrove leaders said. Reginald Barrett operations partners. Formal invite courier Marquis. Marcus Brow. Invite customer internal. Changes vibe. Loose usually. Reginald no loose said. Wants culture. Send. Done, Marcus said. Else? Looked window. Snow watch. No, said no else. No invite parents. No Selene. Boundary drawn. Want part life? Ask. Step my world. Not drag theirs. Saturday morning, December 23rd. Gala day. Pressure kin peak. Phone rang. Selene. Answered second. Venue oversee light. Gallery hall vast echo. Tech shouts. Ilara, Selene said. Breathless, frantic. Help. Busy, Selene said. Signal tech dim amber. Dad mind lose, said. Told everyone coming tomorrow. Not Hargroves. Told Aunt Lydia, Uncle Ray, relatives Midwest. Everyone thinks home eve. Bragged Ilara. Bragged? Asked, flat. Yes, told proud. Spun story always new genius. Nausea wave sudden. Stealing struggle, work, success. Repackaging fatherly insight. Using name polish ego before door. Lied, said. Save face, Selene pleaded. But now, no show, look mad. Aunt Lydia asks dish bringing. Thinks bringing custard. Haven't made custard years, said Ilara. Please, Selene said. Hour, appear, smile. Let Dad display, leave. Do me. If Hargroves see broken kin, Barrett panic again. Finally trust post dinner. Want prop? Said again. Want sister? Cried. Once, save. Looked hall. Massive banner ceiling. Pivot Nexus AI, tomorrow adaptable. Built firm forecasts future. Family, prediction clear. Go house terms, no change. Permission use again. No, said Ilara. Not coming house, Selene firm. Not coming Eve. Own party host tonight. Party? Asked confused. Pivot Nexus yearly event? Said. Tonight city. Pause. But wanted here. Weak. If see, said. If Dad really see daughter head, come where am. Come my event. Not invited. Noted. Inviting now, said. But understand Celine. My ground. No dad head here. Guest. If brag, do standing crowd look stage. Won't come. Celine said proud. Expects come him. Then lonely Christmas explain absence Hargroves. Said hung. Sent father text. One line if see, come contemporary gallery tonight 7. Leave names door. Phone away. Throne challenge. Rest day logistics blur. Checked cater. Rehearsed address. Greeted early. Venue filled best minds. See formal wear gowns. Hum energy rising firm. 6:30. Marcus found bar. Hargroves here, said. Already? Asked. Reginald early. Marcus said brought full. Barrett with. Celine. Turned. Reginald Hargrove entrance. Majestic formal. Beside Vivian. Behind Graham. Nervous sharp. Clinging Barrett arm Celine. Came. Silver dress. Looked terrified. Scanned room. Eyes wide. Scale take. Saw crystal forms. Interactive info. People sheer. Walked. Reginald said. Welcome, Alara, Reginald said. Beam. Arm spread. Spectacular. Venue creative. Thank, said. Nodded Barrett. Barrett, good see. You too, Alara, Barrett said. Looked room professional envy. No throw gathering, looked Celine. Came, said. Had, whispered. Lean Reginald no here. Reginald insisted. Got invite. Cancelled own meal bookings. Said place B. No choice. Smiled. Not kind. Reginald instincts good. Dad furious. Celine hissed. Home pace floor. Says humiliate make come you. Offering option. Said can stay home lie Aunt Lydia. Or come see truth. Won't come, Celine said. Stubborn. See. Said. Party full swing. Worked room. Introduced Reginald lead developers. Watched Hargrove team mingle staff. Firms weave real time. Business art. Celine bar hold champagne no drink. Looked lost. First, party charm no work no language. People neural adaptive. Nothing contribute. Outsider. 7:15. Phone buzz. Dad, car. Adrenaline jolt. Coming. Fear miss. Or fear Hargroves ask where overrode pride, Dad. But if make look bad, Alara, never forgive. No reply. No need. Walked stage, lights dim, spot mic stand, room quiet. 250 faces center. Good evening all, said. Voice amp, clear command. Thank here. Saw Reginald front, nod. Saw Barrett watch respect. Saw Celine shadows, look stranger. Then back hall doors opened. Parents entered. Late, flustered. Father formal, tie slight askew. Mother rap, look awe defensive judge. Stopped room edge. Looked up. Saw me. Stood stage 5 feet above. Light bath. Address room wealthy talents. Behind. Vast screen words. Alara Voss. Creator head. Father froze. Spent 30 years down me. Spent week hide me. Now neck crane see face. Saw Reginald turn spot. Reginald hand wave beckon. Father hesitated. Looked want turn run. Nowhere. Hargrove's watch. Prominent watch. Step forward another. Began long walk. Crowd stage. Breath. Gripped mic. Tonight, continued eyes locked father approach. Celebrate insight. Power view things actual, not wish. Father stopped 10 feet stage. Looked up. Face pale. No smile. No wave. Continued speak. Wait reality crush fiction tried build. Entered my world. Doors locked behind. Gala hummed frequency deserved triumph. Not empty glass clink socialite. Famous. Room ozone costly scent. Late nights major rewards. Air thick electricity built real. Stood stage, mic cool palm, look 250C. Left, info wall pulse live global metrics. Beautiful commerce rhythm beat map. Then parents. Stopped 10 feet stage, isolated space crowd cleared instinct. Looked time travelers wrong era. Father clutched tux lapels, fear wind blow away. Mother gripped bag white knuckles, eyes dart frantic high-tech faces tightens around. Sought hide place. Sought shadow stash awkward daughter pretend normal. No shadows here. Watched eyes rise. Watched past me up massive screen behind stage. Text 20 feet. Alara Voss. Creator CEO. Saw moment words hit father. Breath stop. Mouth open slight, close, open. Blinked, clear image. Rearrange letters fit view. Wanted say aid. Wanted say staff. Wanted anything allow remain head knew best. Screen no change. Stared unblinking undeniable. Beside. Reginald Hargrove clapped. Not polite. Beamed. Leaned, father shouted applause. Point me, genuine admire. Father looked Reginald. Then me. Color drain face complete. Thought faint second. Realized violent perspective crash not uninvited daughter meal. Uninvited person Reginald admire most room. Snub designer deal hoped leverage social rise. Applause fade. Room wait. Saw Celine detach Barrett's side. Looked terrified. Rushed stage edge. Wave discreet. Attention get. Mouthed. Come down. Pointed side exit. Shadows. Backstage whisper manage spin. Wanted pull dark rewrite script. Explain parents. Soften. Make small handle. Looked. Shook head. No. Done shadows. Turned mic. Thank coming. Said. Voice steady. Speakers fill atrium inch. Tonight, transparency. Distribution, talk visibility much. Can't see load, can't manage. Hide data, system fail. Paused. Looked direct father. Stared up. Transfixed long time. Continued. Believed visibility privilege. Believe earn seen right. Believe not fit mold, not refined social. Deserve hidden. Room silent. Thought corporate. Only for new life. Recently advice said. Told note should not attend certain festive meet. Told guests prominent presence create awkward. Nervous laugh ripple crowd. Thought joke. Mock rival. Reginald no laugh. Stood taller. Turned look father gaze cut glass. Told stay away save face. Said protect brand. Step forward stage edge. But learned building firm. Said true worth no protect. True worth no filter. Most, true worth no ask ticket door. Let words hang. Used think prominent meant exclusion, said. Think meant keep out. Wrong. Prominent means superior. Means build undeniable no afford ignore. Tonight, propose toast. Raised water glass. People told not belong, said. Moment realized no need permission led. Here, voice boom front. Reginald Hargrove. Raised flute high. Ilara Voss, shouted. Most prominent strategist ever met. Room erupt. Applause thunder. Washed warm validating. Watched parents. No clap. Shrinking. Father as struck physical. Stood surround cheer daughter tried hide. Realized smallest room. Looked Reginald glass me. Saw social capital craved flow him me. Walked stage. No side exit. Walked center stairs crowd. People reach shake. Backers pat back. Moved shark water. Head direct group frozen front. Father no meet eyes. Shoes stare. Mother weep silent. Dab eyes tissue. Make up dark streaks. Celine looked me. No envious. Relieved. Secret out. Lie burden gone. Ilara. Father croak. Finally up. Eyes red. Don't. Said. Didn't know. Tried again. Believe. No idea big. Measure worth size, Dad. Said. Voice low hard. Only here. Mistake. Think small. Worthless. Think quiet. Empty. Didn't know never asked. Saw want see. So proud mother sob reach hand. Stepped back. No touch. No, said. Not proud. Surprised. Difference. Pride needs involvement. Pride means they're hard. Not there. Hiding kitchen. Reginald stepped circle. Hand shoulder. Protective. Looked father disappointment damaging anger. Harlan Reginald said father. Remarkable daughter. Hope realize. Trade portfolio founded this. Shame not include holiday plans. Honored. Father flinch. Judgment Reginald final blow. Man impressed just told fool. Want there? Father stammered. Desperate fix facade crack. Course, Ilara. Please home tomorrow eve. Fix. Big meal. Celebrate success. Doing again. Pivot. Turn victory his focal. Parade. Look, daughter CEO. Use title scrub behavior stain. Not trophy, Dad. Said. Not rehab plan, but Christmas. Mother pleaded. Family. Looked room. Marcus laughed developers. Nadia show new layout backers. People 3 days server move. People no brew order, stress signs. Have family, said. Gestured room. These no am, said. No screen tell valuable. New garage. That family. Turned parents. Gift Celine. Said. Gift truth. No lie more. No pretend. Just you. Dad just dad. No use accessorize life. Father looked anger sorrow mix. Realize no leverage. Can't ground. Can't cut. Can't shame. Untouchable. So, asked bitter. Walking away. Too prominent now. Laughed. Genuine. This time? No, Dad. Said. Not prominent. Just occupied. Turned Reginald. Reginald. Bar vintage spirit think appreciate. Show. Lead Alara. Reginald said. Turned back parents no glance. Barrett gave Celine quick sorry look. Touched arm brief. Followed boss. New power. Walked away. Felt parents watch. Eyes bore back. Stood alone. Party middle. Surround wealth success. Isolated own choices. No look back. Walked team crowd. Marcus handed champagne. Nadia high five. Laugh talk swell around. Warm real. Sipped champagne. Tasted victory. Not bitter hurt other. Sweet clean finally seen. Father life worry people walk into. Worry messy residents, awkward talk. Tonight, walked truth. First life, no care liked saw. Was Alara Voss exactly supposed be? Thank much hearing tale. Love nowhere listening from. So, please leave note below share spot connect. If like tale, ensure follow Alara Triumph Tales channel. Like video hit button more hear tale.